So there's this thing about YouTube beauty now that's like so glam and unattainable, and everyone has like a beauty room and filming studio and everything looks amazing and the lighting is great, and it's just not realistic. So today I sat down and filmed this kind of everyday makeup look that doesn't include lashes. There's no foundation involved, it's only concealer. What I also did was film it in natural lighting while sitting on my kitchen floor. Sitting on my kitchen floor right now, but you know, it's gotten darker, so the lighting will get better, but it is natural. So you can see all the flaws on my face, you can see my real skin tone, you can see my pores, you can see my acne. It's not going to be fun for me. But if you want to see what I really do every day, then just keep on watching. So first thing I'll do is take this white petroleum jelly, and it's meant for babies, but it's unscented. I think it's a really inexpensive alternative to some lip balms that are very similar, like Aquaphor, which seems to be higher priced here for whatever reason. My skin gets very irritated and pink, so that's what you're looking at right now. I just got out of the shower and moisturized, so I'm not looking my best. The first thing I do is tackle my under eyes. So I got this blended out. This is kind of just like an anomaly. I usually don't get pimples like this, but there have been some days where I've fallen asleep with my makeup on, and that just, you do not want to do that to yourself. But I stand by my stance of not wearing a full coverage foundation every day. To me, it feels heavy on my skin. Every time I'm consistently wearing foundation, I always notice that I break out. So what I've been doing for a really long time is just wearing concealer. And I know some of you, when you see the application of this, will be like, well, if you're going to put that much concealer on, why not just wear a foundation? Just let me finish. So I just like to do it the way you would see people typically highlight, and then if you see any kind of larger pimples that stand out, or larger areas of discoloration, you just go over that as well. Oh my gosh, I forgot a step. Okay, so this is a step that I'm not 100% sold on, but I've been using the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer for a bit. It doesn't seem to break me out, but the key is I only use it on my nose. My nose seems to be a place on my face that seems to be quite resilient for whatever reason. It doesn't really break out a lot. While it is red, like, it usually doesn't get irritated by stuff. So I use this just to fill in the pores a little bit. So the next key to this is just to put some on the eyelids. And I know we already put some concealer under the eyes, but this is going to help correct it even more, and then also get the discoloration on my cheeks, because that's obviously an issue. And like I said, I'm sure a lot of you are kind of just like, well, if you're going to put on that much concealer, why waste concealer? Why not just use foundation? And to me, this always feels much better than wearing foundation. It feels lighter. It doesn't clog my pores in the same way that foundation does. And it gives you a more natural look once it's all blended out. So taking the damp sponge, I just blend everything out. And I like to concentrate it on the areas that kind of need help, and then it'll diffuse out to areas that are more so on the clearer side. Now once you have that all blended out, you might just need to go over any larger zits just one more time. I usually double up a little bit on my nose because the tip ends up getting very red. And you can even let this sit here for a little bit because this concealer will blend out. It's not one of those super crazy ones that'll just like really set, and then you're just screwed if you don't blend it out. And one of the keys to this look is also just embracing your natural skin. Like, even if you can still see some redness, that's okay, because skin is not just like a blank canvas, and that's going to make you look a little bit more natural. Next, I'm going to take a powder that has some coverage in it. This is the L'Oreal True Match in the shade N1. One of my favorite powders ever. Just really good. And I've found that this has always been the method I preferred for acne coverage. I know a lot of people like to just do foundation and then do a thin layer of powder. I like to actually get some coverage out of my powder, so I like to press it in with a flat brush like this. Take it down the neck a bit. Why didn't anyone tell me that I didn't blend that out? You guys aren't real friends. But you can see what I mean, like that blended out really easily, even though it was sitting there for a while. Alright, I had to put my hair up in one of these little half thingies, because I just can't have hair in my face when I do my makeup. Now I'm going to take the best concealer brush of all time, which is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. It is the perfect shape for people who struggle with getting powder around their nose. So you can just get in there and get in between your eyebrows. You can even go back and do a little bit more spot concealing on anything. And it's really good for eyelids. And I didn't do my under eyes yet, because I'm going to use a different powder on them. Even though this is a day look, I do want some brightness, so I'm going to use my All About Matte Fixing Powder. This is not good for people who are darker than me. Not good. It comes off very white and not translucent, so if you're pale, you'll be okay. If you're dark, I would skip this one and use whatever translucent powder you like. I put a little bit on my chin because my chin's kind of smaller. My forehead's very, very large, so I don't really go up, I more go to the side. I'm testing it out, I'm not sure if it helps at all, but... And I just let this bake for a while, but it gives me a chance to work on my eyes. And I am using a bronzer in the crease. This is my everyday look. Right now I'm going to use the e.l.f. Total Face Palette. This is from their new, I believe it's called Beautifully Bare line. I really apologize about the lighting. I have no control over this lighting right now. So it might be getting too bright or too dark. But this is real life, so. And I kind of have a hooded eye, so if I'm really trying, I do like to get a little bit more color just on here where it tends to droop down a bit. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Rose Gold. This is a beautiful highlighter, one of my favorite highlighters for the past, I don't know how many months. And I'm just going to take it on my finger and place it on my eyelid. And just go back in with your blending brush. Now you can totally leave it at this, but if you want a little bit of definition, just take a black eyeshadow on an angled brush. And I just tap off a little bit on my hand because I don't want too much impact going on. And I just go right along the lash line. Just to give a tiny bit of definition. But it looks very soft. Now we're just going to curl our lashes, just a little bit. And I noticed I kind of messed up on this edge here. So I'm going to try to make my brush small, just kind of wipe some of it away. Because I really do want that to be soft and not look like it's a wing. Essence Volume Stylist Mascara. This is the lash extension one. And we're just going to do a very generous coat of this. Okay, I'm tired of looking at this powder, so we're going to wipe it away. So now to add some color back to my face, I'm going to use this palette again. I already used it in my crease, but I'm going to use it to just do a light dusting of bronzer. If you have a large forehead like me, it's nice to kind of just dust around the temples, dust into the forehead, and I like to go along my jawline and down my neck as well. This powder is really good for pale people because it's not very dark and the payoff is not like just like wha-bam, it's very buildable. Another big key is when you're bronzing your neck, you gotta go at the back of your neck too, and I like to do my ears as well. It's gotta be cohesive. Now a lot of times I actually don't wear blush, but since I've got this new palette and it's got these like really nice, just pretty kind of like light shades, I'm wearing it a little bit more. Now we can move on to brows. Day to day, I just like to use a pencil. This is the Brow Stylist Definer. I ran out of my one pencil and I just needed to pick one up. I bought it at the grocery store actually, so they didn't have much selection, but it's actually a pretty good pencil. What I like to do, I don't like to fill in both the top and bottom. Depending on the day, like I might do the bottom a little bit. But if I'm trying to look more natural, I usually just draw the top line and take it out a tiny bit more. Like so, and then I brush it back up. And then I might do a little bit under here to kind of connect it. And yeah, I just like to brush them up. And for this one, you see how this one, you can see, kind of like spikes out this way. This one doesn't have that same spike at the front, so I kind of, if I have time, I like to just draw a few little straight ones in the front to mimic this side. But I don't care about my brows too much. I like them to be messy. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is use a clear mascara. I just kind of brush my brows up. They usually fall a bit anyway. But I like that like messy, spiky look. I think it makes you look younger to have a more bushy brow. A more unruly brow. Not such a structured and clean brow. As you can see, I'm not going to like carve it up, I'm not going to do anything to it, I'm just going to leave it as is. The best part about this look is that it's all monochromatic, and whatever highlighter you feel like wearing that day, that's the lid color you'll wear as well. So it will always just tie in together, and I just think it's really nice. And this highlighter is so beautiful. You gotta be careful with it, like it's strong. But sometimes I don't mind having just like a really strong highlight that day. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the bridge of my nose. I'm not gonna bring it all the way down because as you can see, like I have a protruding nose. Like it doesn't really need to have a dot to emphasize it. If anything, I should put like contour on the tip of my nose or something. I don't know if that would work, but now you can put mascara on the bottom lashes if you want. A lot of times I don't when I go to work because I feel like it ends up smudging a little bit and I just don't like knowing that I might have to touch it up. So I just leave it. Essence Keep It Perfect Makeup Fixing Spray. This is the best fixing spray from Essence. And you're just going to put a lot on to get rid of any of that crustiness from all the powder products we used. Now I would wipe off my lips like any of the crustiness. you just want to get back to your natural lip color, like that. See the gross Q-tip? Instead of having, I mean, I don't know how some people do it. Some people like to have like the crust and they just go over it. I can't do that. I like to have my natural lip color going. Now, you can just put on a gloss, or you can line your lips a little bit if you want. I'm gonna line my lips for the sake of this video, but a lot of times I don't. To make them look a little bit bigger, you can just draw the lines. It's a bit of a lip contouring trick. Now, only do that if you're going to put something over top that's going to kind of dull that out, because you don't want to just have a bunch of lines on your lips like that. Favorite lip gloss for months and months and months, Fenty Gloss Bomb. I'm almost done mine. It has some color to it, so it's going to help take away those lines a bit. Feel free to do clear gloss if that's your style. So style your hair as you want, take it down, but this is the finished look. It's super simple. It can be done like really quickly. It just took me some more time to explain it. But I think it just looks like pretty without too much effort, and it wears really well and fades really well. See, the eyes are just really simple. I hope you enjoyed this more like laid back, realistic video, less production value, you know, might not be everybody's cup of tea, but at least it was reality. And I want you to leave me a comment down below telling me what is your like favorite makeup product that you need to wear every day, like something you could not go without. Thanks for tuning in. I want you to remember, don't just make up your face, make up your mind too, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.